Glenn McGrath, tremendous bowler. His record speaks for itself. He was very much a part of that fantastic Australian side, the Australian side that would probably rival Clive Lloyd's West Indies side for quality and longevity of success. And McGrath, along with Shane Warne, were mainly responsible for it. Batsmen have to score the runs, obviously, but to win Test matches you've got to take 20 wickets, and McGrath played a huge part in that. He wasn't particularly quick, he was lively enough. When he first started he was quicker, actually. I think I first played against him in Brisbane in the early 90s, and he was raw, and he wasn't as finely tuned as he became. He had an action that was repeatable, he had a strong action, he had tremendous control. You know, he literally could put a dinner plate on the pitch on a length, and he would just run up and hit that area, ball after ball after ball, and the ball may nip back, it may go away, but the length would always be the same. And as I said with other bowlers, it was that in-between length. Because of his pace, you wanted to try and get forward to him, but it was that in-between length of, can I get forward? Well, if I do, I might find my outside edge. If I hang back, he might nip it back and trap your LBW. He just had great control of both the new ball and the old ball, but the new ball especially. His record of getting out the openers was quite exceptional. I think he got Michael Atherton now nearly 20 times or something in his career. So that speaks volumes of McGrath, because Atherton was a tremendous player. But you never felt as though you could get on top of McGrath. You know, I played against him a lot. He got me out on numerous occasions. But he would bowl a ball. You could hit the ball. Don't worry about that. It wasn't as though it was dot ball after dot ball. But you could never really get right on top of him. You could try and pull him off his length. In 2002-03 in Australia, Michael Vaughan had that tremendous series, and he actually pulled McGrath off his natural length because the pitches bounced that little bit more in Australia. But that's probably the only time where I saw an international batsman take him on and win the battle, and credit to Vaughan for that. But with me, as I say, if he bowled it short, I'd look to pull or hook him, and if he overpitched, you'd try and drive him. But those balls were few and far between, and he got me out. I remember at Lord's here, played a Test match, and in the second innings got out hooking, caught it fine leg, and in the first innings he used the slope very well. He used to bowl from the pavilion end at Lord's, so the slope was going from left to right, pitch outside off stump, bringing it back into you. And I'd let balls go, and then he bowled this one ball which I thought was as wide as the others, but obviously it was fractionally straighter. I shouldered arms, and it nipped back and knocked me off stump out without playing a shot. But he was a very clever bowler. But it was a fact that he never got bored, and the secret to cricket, really, batter or bowl, is who's going to get bored first. But if you don't get bored and you keep doing the same thing, you've got a chance of being successful. But if you want to gamble a little bit, then you open up the risk of being beaten by the opposition. Yeah, when you play against any bowler, and let's use McGrath here as the example, as a batsman you always want to try and be in charge, you want to be the boss. Now that doesn't mean trying to hit every ball for 4 or 6, but you've got to make sure you're positive in defence and positive in attack, so you have clear-cut plans and ideas. But again, you've got to play each ball on its merit. So you wouldn't say, oh, it's Glenn McGrath, let's all start panicking, or anything like that, because I'd be saying about any bowler's entitled to bowl a good ball, any bowler's entitled to bowl a bad ball. But the very, very good bowlers, which McGrath is one, bowl very few poor deliveries. So you knew that your scoring rate was going to be slightly different. So it was a game of patience, as I mentioned earlier there, about don't get bored, or whoever gets bored first will probably come unstuck. And you just had to line the ball up. Keeps coming back to that saying of mine, the game revolves around the top of off stump. Whether it's a bowler, and McGrath worked at the top of off stump, and as a batsman you've got to defend the top of off stump and then look for scoring opportunities. But it was hard work, because he would string the dot balls together, he would bowl wicket-taking deliveries, and you just hope that your defence was good enough to see the good balls out, and if you bowled a bad ball you had to make sure you punish him, because if you missed out then you'd have to wait quite a few more before he bowled another loose one.